13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the MARK or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And I've corroborated or verified it with another site. Although, you know, I'm sure there's more stuff coming out because it came out today, I believe. No, actually the 12th. June 12th right here, 2024. Now it says 11, so I don't know what that's all about. But nevertheless, it says here, U.S. Department of Commerce to digitize the identities of all Americans receiving public benefits. See, start off with these, you know, with the people that get benefits from the government, from the the military, the police, you know, so on and so forth. Anyone that has anything to do with the government, you know, and this is how it's starting. You have your ID document readers, biometric readers, web portal, mobile app capture, liveness defection, customer CRM, biometric authentication, address verification, third-party service checks, ID verification, data extraction, OCR. And like the elder Ariella said, it's June, you know, and everything is moving in this direction. Oh, actually, this is dated June 13th, 2024. It says, like your public benefits, you can keep your public benefits at a price, your freedom, the federal, and pretty much your life. Because if you take this device that's coming, I mean, the digital ID is not, you know, not the MOTB, but it's a step closer to getting everything digitalized. All right. It says the federal government has adopted a whole of government campaign to enforce the adoption of a universal ID when universal basic income is adopted in the future. And that's your UBI. No one can be able to buy it. No man can buy or sell. Remember, it's June. Only the tagged and bagged will be on the list. All others can eat sawdust. This is the heartbeat of technocracy that has been in place since 1932. Actually written by Leo Hoffman via Leo Hoffman's Substack.com. And here we have Leo's newsletter. U.S. Department of Commerce has planned already in place to digitize the identities of all Americans receiving public benefits. Federal guidelines have already been secretly adopted for a digital ID program that will start off as voluntary, but only the most gullible Americans would believe that's anything but temporary. This is dated June 12, 2024. This one was dated June 13, 2024. The globalists drive toward the creation of a national digital ID. Remember, they want to identify everybody. They want to tag everyone. When you're tagged, that means that you have a branding on you. When you have a branding on you, that means that you're property. You're already property of these devils by way of driver's license, especially the Social Security card, so on and so forth. But they want to have this inserted inside of you, and that way you would be what? A lifelong or lifetime slave or servant. And those that take the MOTB, which is the micro CHIP, will be destroyed. This is why we go into this so much and so often, because it is very important to understand, identify, and not take this MOTB. Digital ID for all Americans is well underway. And the first group of citizens to be coerced into accepting a digital ID will be those receiving public benefits of one type or another. Healthcare benefits, veterans benefits, Social Security benefits, and of course, low-income welfare programs of every type will all be fair game for digital IDs. And the U.S. government is already far down the road to adopting a strategy of digitizing all government-dependent citizens. See, so it's going to start off with those that are dependent on the government. They want to get their benefits, SNAP benefits, your welfare, your food stamps, or whatever the case may be, your Medicare, Medicaid, all this stuff. Well, guess what? You have to comply with the regulations of the government, as Jake has always been doing. It all begins with a little-known program within the U.S. Department of Commerce. I bet you didn't know that the Federal Commerce Department has a sub-agency called the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST for short. And that NIST has already adopted a set of digital identity guidelines. And these guidelines are ostensibly designed to better support public benefits programs, biometric update, reports that these programs assist beneficiaries with essential needs such as food. See, you won't be able to eat, housing, won't be able to live anywhere, and medical expenses. You won't be able to go to any hospital, or any of your appointments without this thing. And then goes on to explain NIST's role in digitizing all these government beneficiaries. Always the case, the federal agency has partners in the private sector to help it fulfill its mission of bringing in the technocratic biometric beast system designed to replace people's free will with government mandating every facet of their lives.
Of an old man I used to date, I was in a relationship with him for 11 years. He would never marry me, right? But whenever my bills were due, I would tell him he would give me just enough. He had a whole lot of money. He would give me just enough. Rent due, $1,200. He'd give me $1,200, not 1 cent over, because he knew that every month the rent was due, that I would have to come back to him. He wouldn't give me $100,000 and say, here, baby, bump that, go buy you a house and start you a business, because then he felt like I wouldn't need him. The government system is the same way when it comes to Black Americans. They'll never give us enough to get over and get up. It's only enough to make sure we continue to come back every 30 days so that we can remain slaves to their system.
You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days.
That the WEF has created called C40, and it's called C40 Cities. I would urge you to certainly look on the internet about it, and then go to all of the TikTokers and see what they're really saying. Basically, you won't be able to drive a petrol or diesel car anymore. You'll have to buy electric. If you want food, you will get a calorie-controlled system sent to you by text saying, this is what you can eat today, this is what you can have today. If you violate any of these things, they'll freeze your bank account. That is the next step. These are stages in which they're going to implement this stuff. And this was signed up by the WEF, and the WEF has signed up with our mayor in London as the chair. And he has gone around the world to communicate this C40 to all of the countries in the world. And most of the countries are looking at adopting it. Now, I am going to abolish it. It is a hopeless position. We are going to be in an open prison, or shall we say a COVID, for the rest of our lives. We will not be able to work unless it's in our 15-minute city. It's diabolical. It's not right. This is not the right thing. And it's been hidden from the public. No one's talking about it.
I don't know how it will play out in November, but what we know is that we will end up with many more unemployed, and particularly also people in the grey economy, which are not counted for, who lose their jobs. So we will see definitively a lot of anger already now, but probably increase by the end of the year, because this crisis will be with us until we really have found a remedy. So we have to prepare for a more angry world. And how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action to create a fairer world.
People assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again in how we are used to normal, in the old fashion. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset, which means to exercise here true global citizenship. Why not to tie government aid to the green economy which we have to create? Why we are here when we talk about the great reset, to talk also about innovation. How can we do things differently from what we used to do? And if we speak about differently, it means also how can we do it to make sure that
you will own nothing, and you will be happy.